Hello, everybody. I am back. Here I am. I'm excited. So, just recently, we saw from the Barrel and Blade Knife of the Month, the VKnives, the Frontier Survivor, or boy, I can't remember it off the top of my head, but it's an impressive knife. And if you have not seen the actual unboxing of this, well, number one, I'm probably going to put a picture of what it looked like, or a little clip in here. But here's up here in the corner. There's the actual link to go check out the original unboxing of this to see it. But I have two of these. I got one from Monthly Knife Club. I got one from Barrel and Blade. So I wanted to do something with it. Here I am locking it down, and I'm about to open it. And what I did, so this knife now is a giveaway for my Patreon dudes, for my Patreon members, and that's a whole nother issue. But I like to do giveaways for them often. I wanted to do something in the shop. I wanted to do a project with it. I wanted to do something special with this one, and the end result I figured would be great as a giveaway item for them. But I wanted to show everyone else what I did, because I'm pretty happy with it. So now that I locked the whole thing down for some reason, because I don't know, let's get back into it. And what I wanted to do was I wanted to give it a total refinish, but it's fun and easy to make things look brand new, bright and shiny. I wanted this to look worn and used, and that's kind of what I did. So let me take it all the way out. And I'm going to walk you through what I did. I didn't do a whole project video doing the thing because I worked on it in between. We had a lot going on in the shop lately. So I worked on it in pieces in between other stuff. So here is what I have done. And there are some companies that, actual reputable companies, people, not like myself, and they will do these worn finishes. They call them, battlefield pickups or combat worn or whatever. And that was kind of an inspiration for what I did here. I was just thinking of what would look cool to refinish this, to redo it. So number one, every single color on here, these are not normal, so you can't get these Cerakote colors. I custom mixed each color so that this would be a unique, one-of-a-kind knife. And yes, you can mix Cerakote. You can mix the colors up, and you could use them right out of the bottle, or you could make custom formulas. And what inspired me on that one was we are currently working with AWT. And if you're not familiar, they make some really high-end aftermarket knife scales, and they happen to have some, I don't want to use trademark, but they have some proprietary custom mixed Cerakote colors that they use. And so since we're coding for them now, we had to get the formulas so that we can use them, so that we can mix it up right. And I was like, wow, okay, so if AWT has that, maybe I can try to make some custom colors myself. So while some of these colors might look similar to things you've seen in the past in the Cerakote world, they're not. Like, you can't get any of these colors out of a bottle. These are all mixed, and I probably couldn't repeat it if I tried, because I didn't write down exactly how I mixed the colors up. So they are all unique. So let me explain doing multiple colors like this. So I based it off of the Finish M90 style camouflage, which I really, it's a very interesting, it's very geometric pattern. And of course it's different colors, but it's not quite digital, okay? But it's a very geometric pattern. So when you do something like this, it involves a lot of, first you have to sandblast the whole thing, okay? And then you gotta sweat the metal out to make sure that there's no oils or anything left on it. And then it's a long process of taping, because you don't want to build up. So like you could theoretically spray one whole color and then flash it. So flashing means 15 minutes in the oven at a lower temperature to basically not fully cure, but to harden and dry the first color, right? That way we can work with it. Because remember, Cerakote's a liquid ceramic, comes out of the spray gun like that. So you want to harden the first color, okay? And then you can start taping up. But you know, and then doing the follow-on colors. But in order to so you don't want to build up thick layers. So what you have to do is you have to figure out where your first color is going to go. The first color I did is this grayish green. So what I had to do was take the high temperature tape, and you guys have seen it on the channel, that blue plastic tape, and I had to basically tape off everywhere that was not going to be this grayish green color. Tape it all off, spray the first color on, okay, and then oven 15 minutes. Come back, then figure out where the next color was going to go, and then the next color was this lightish green. Had to tape off all of the grayish green, and then tape off all the, you know, basically, tape comes off after the first color. Tape off the grayish green, and so that involves a lot of working with a little fine blade to then, because you know it's linear tape. So when you have shapes like this, you've got to trim it and cut it, and all that. So then we tape off to protect that layer, and we pick out where the green is going to go and tape off all the other metal. Spray that, flash it. So now we have those two colors. Then the next color was this, well, I guess it's kind of a brownish gray. Again, everything on here is, just sort of customish mix. So it's kind of a brownish color, brownish green. They all go together. So once again, tape off all trim the tape and make it fit all the green and that, and then basically tape off everything else again, spray the brown, flash it, and then finally we've got this OD green type color, and so it's a long process. And then once everything was flashed, remember it's not cured, it's not fully hardened, then you go on to the distressing, which is not terribly hard to do, but you want to get it in such a way that it doesn't look like you distressed it. You want it to look like it has suffered use, and so that's done with, if you're familiar with the 3M green scrubby pads, so those are just one. There's different, just like sandpaper comes in different grits. This has, the 3M pads have different grits. So I used the burgundy, the red one, which is much more aggressive. And then, you got to work with it at different pressures and different styles to make it look realistically like this is a knife that has a battle-worn finish on it. And you got to know where to put pressure and where not, and that's where you get this really cool worn look from, all around. Especially on the highlights, the raised edges, and yeah. Now I still actually, now that I think about it, I need to just refine the edge a little bit before it goes to anybody. Yeah. So the G10 scales, I didn't want to fully mess them up because there's still some texture on them. You can't really see it anymore because I wanted to maintain the grip. So what I did was, rather than using the Dremel, I actually used a small round file to just make it look like, it's been dropped, it's been banged on. It gives it some texture and an interesting look, but it's not like the grinding, big patterns. It looks more like beaten up material. Then I sandblasted the whole thing, and hydrographics, I took a rosewood pattern and made it look like, beat up old wood. Now, the cracking in this old film I like. I used it on purpose because it kind of gives a sort of distressed old look to it, like a dried up, you know, a dried up old wood handle. Again, I had to work on it in between, you know, actual work in the shop, so it took a while to do, but I really like it. Now, I totally get it if people look at this camouflage and they're like, that is wacky, I don't like it. As I said before, I was working off of, kind of inspired by the M90 camouflage pattern. I had to do a customer's handgun in it once upon a time, and, you know, in Cerakote, and sort of, it was an interesting job to do, and I wanted to try something like that again. But I think this is an interesting look for this knife, and I think that, you know, it is now a one-of-a-kind thing, which is cool. It's nice to have something that no one else has. So, you know, I'll be doing the, like I said, the giveaway for my Patreon dudes. I do giveaways for them all the time. Everybody on the Patreon team ends up getting something. You know what I mean? Like, it's, because those are the rules on Patreon. You can't do like raffles or stuff like that, or like, you know, everybody ends up getting something. But I would love to hear from all of you what you think of this. Number one, do you like the original look better? Do you like the you know, how it came, or do you like this? Do you like it customized? And, you know, is this a good look, do you think? Something I should explore further? Or is this just like, no, miss the mark, you do not like it? Because I take a lot of my follow-on customizing cues from what you guys say. Like, I really value your opinions. So is this something that if you had, you would use, you would carry, you would show your buddies and be like, hey, look what I got? What do you think? Please do let me know. But I'm proud of it. I like it. It was, like I said, fun to work on. Took me a little bit longer than I wanted, but I think it's an interesting look, you know? So anyway, can't wait to hear your opinions on this. I'd love to know what you think. So please, let's discuss. And remember that you guys are all absolutely awesome. I appreciate every single one of you. And I'll be back again real soon.